Hey, Ben here and welcome to today's video, all about the up and coming 2020 UK recession and probably global recession. And I want to give you 5 ways in which you can prepare your business for this. Should it happen, let's be honest, probably pretty likely that it's going to. We know that a recession is classed as an economic downturn over 2 consecutive quarters. We've just come off the back of Brexit, which already left us in a weakened state, and now we've faced this whole COVID-19 pandemic, which I think is kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. So without further ado, let's go over to tip number 1. Diversify your revenue. So what do I mean by this? I mean, let's make sure that we do not have 1 or 2 clients that are responsible for the majority of the business's revenue. It's amazing how many times this happens, and that's fine when everything is all sunshine and rainbows. But when it all hits the fan and businesses start going against the wall, if you lose 1 or 2 of these big businesses, it can totally cripple a company. And I've seen it so many times. So you need to make sure that you're not getting the majority of your revenue. I'd say if you are getting more than 10% of your revenue from 1 client, you need to look at that client, how stable they are and how you diversify that risk. Is there a way that you can bring more people in on a higher package to water it down? What can you do to kind of protect it and to kind of build the business up so you're not so financially dependent on those 1 or 2 clients? So that's the first thing to get under control. Step number 2, protect cash flow. We know cash is king. If you're not liquid, you run out, you have to shut your doors. You know, it is a legal requirement. So everybody has to protect their cash flow. The amount of times that I see businesses go down, not because they weren't profitable, not because they weren't making money, but because they weren't actually collecting the cash. So you need to make sure that not only are you invoicing, that your contract is right, that your terms are clear, you've got clear terms, but also that your clients are abiding by those terms, that they are paying within those terms, and that your financial teams, whoever it is that is responsible for following up on those invoices, are getting the payments in within a certain amount of time. If clients are paying late, you need to look at why and look at ways to bring that under control, explaining them to the importance of paying late payment charges, whatever it is you need to do, because you need to make sure that everybody is paying within their terms so that you know that yes, on paper we're profitable, but we're also claiming that money, and that money is in our bank, not someone else's. You don't want to end up in one of these difficult situations where when you need the money and you're trying to find it, it's not there. And when you actually look, you know, you find that you've got clients that owe you 3 or 4 months money, and they might have had 1 email to chase them that's been ignored. You know, this happens a lot more than people think. So just make sure that your processes are lined up so you are actually collecting the money that you're owed. So step number 3, make sure you're lean, but you are able to still deliver. You know, you do not want to cut your teams back and your people back to a point that your service is affected. You know, panic, just cutting people left, right and centre. You need to look at your business plan, what you need to execute against that. You know, at the moment, I don't think many people want to be in a position where they're overstretching, trying to grow too unrealistically. People are trying to be business as usual, look for opportunities, but not do anything too crazy. But you need to make sure that you are keeping the correct team. You know, even if some of these people are not people that generate revenue, that earn revenue through direct work, but they facilitate it, you need to look at how key they are to your business. Because, for example, say your structure is that you have account managers, but they're not billed. People say, well, okay, we need to get rid of them because they're not earning money for the business. The problem is, if you were then to let those account managers go, you would find that then your accounts aren't being managed properly. You'd then start losing clients. It's a false economy. So you need to look at the impact of your actions, but make sure that every role is justified and that it is all kind of working towards the greater good, and it can kind of keep you performing your best work for your clients, because that's the most important thing. Which brings me on to point number 4, and that is you need to make sure that your customer service is on point. You know, if you're selling a service, you're delivering it, you are over delivering it. You know, the first thing that happens in like this COVID-19 situation or recessions, financial hardship, anytime there are things like this, people just look to cut anything and everything. You need to make sure that your service, product, whatever it is, you know, it is crystal clear the benefits this has given them, that it's something that they cannot live without, they can't replace, because otherwise they will, and you don't want to fall into that camp. So you need to make sure that your relationships are really good. There are no excuses for yours to be one of the services that is cut. So customer service, really important. And number 5, last but not least, do not cut back on marketing. If you cut back and you just try and stop all your marketing, go into hibernation mode, you will die. You know, your business will go down unless you've got very, very deep pockets. You need to kind of cut things back as much as you can, but still remain on the offensive, still be in attack mode, still be in that farming mode, going out, looking for business, getting business. It'll be harder to get, but it's still there. Don't be like most of your competitors will be and go into hibernation mode. Capitalize at that point, still come on strong, still be putting out the signals that you are doing okay, so that when people looking for what you do are looking for it, they see you, come to you, they're still doing good, we'll do business with them. Don't know where that lot went, they've all disappeared, we're not hearing anything from them. So it's really important that you stay, you know, aggressive and on it in this time. So, you know, keep your marketing, you know, on full throttle. I mean, some businesses you should be marketing harder as it becomes harder to find those people, because it will be worth it to get them, especially over your competitors. You want to make sure that when things do start subsiding, you're in a position of strength, full throttle still going, whereas they're going to have to then start trying to start everything up, and you've got this whole kind of momentum going for you still. They won't. They've got to get that ball rolling again. So it puts them on the back foot and you're still on the front foot. So I hope that you've got some good tips out of those 5. I'd love to know how or what you're doing currently to prepare for the probable upcoming recession of 2020, and also how you're currently coping with the COVID situation that we find ourselves in. So let me know in the comments below.